Let's look at the very unlikely event we all decided to move to another planet, or we were all wiped out from the push of a button. What would happen to Earth? What would be left of our civilizations? What will we be leaving behind us? A few hours after our disappearance, lights would go out, and with it, the internet. As most of the planet's energy is powered by fossil fuels like coal and gas and needs constant charging, solar and wind would last longer, but they only represent 5% of the Earth's energy. So what about the big one? What about nuclear power? Well, for the moment, the plants will go into safety mode, so we don't worry about it just yet. A few days after we're gone, pets, zoo, and farm animals would die because nobody would be there to feed them. Most of them being trapped in cages, buildings, and apartments. The ones that would survive would either become prey or predators. And soon, packs of large dogs would roam the streets of empty city to hunt for their food. In weeks, nearly all subways on the planet will be flooded. And boom! You'd think it'd take a little longer than a few months for all nuclear plants to go into full meltdown. Well, think again. After a few months, all the water that cools down the nuclear reactors will have evaporated. And that can only mean one thing, and that's explosions. Much more serious than any of our past crises, like Fukushima or Chernobyl. Why? Because there wouldn't be any damage control. These areas wouldn't be safe for another 15 to 20 years. If it were humans, it would not be for another 20,000 years because animals evolve rather quickly. So while animals suffer from cancers and physical limitations, they could look up at the pollution-free sky and observe the incredible sight of all the junks and satellites we put into orbit falling back to Earth in a less controlled manner. But still, shooting stars! Yay! 25 years after our extinction, plants, vegetations will take back the cities, and with it, herbivores. And of course predators, like wolves and surviving dogs. Cities like Dubai and Las Vegas won't attract animals and vegetation. Instead, they will be buried under the sands of the desert. Let's move forward 300 years later, when metal constructions like the Eiffel Tower or the Golden Gate Bridge will collapse due to metal corrosion. Steel roads will expand up to 3 times their initial size, cracking the concrete therein. So buildings will go down. The United States will be taken over by swamps, and with them, birds. Whales will thrive in the oceans without fishermen and pollution. 500 years after we've said bye-bye to the planet, forests will have taken over the world. And it would take 10,000 years for all nuclear waste to decay completely. So what would be left of us? Humans have been around the planet for about 200,000 years, and civilization as we know it started 6,000 years ago. Would it just disappear in 10,000 years with the last radioactive waste barrel? Well, not entirely. Stone structures like the Pyramids of Giza, the Great Wall of China, and Mount Rushmore will last for hundreds of thousands of years. No, what will really survive is this, a glass bottle. It is estimated to take 1,000,000 years for glass to decompose. So who knows? If your smartphone screen is made of glass, it might still be around 1,000,000 years after the extinction of the human race. Well, I certainly hope this was uplifting enough for the new year. And stay tuned for another episode of Professor Genius.